So today I want to talk about how you can turn any dive into a good dive, no matter what the situation. Hey guys, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome! My name's Olivia and I'm a professional scuba diver. I make new videos every single week, so if you're interested in scuba tips, training, or travel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's go ahead and dive right into the video. So here's some ways you can make the most of every single dive. Number one is by learning a lesson. So things can't always go perfectly and as planned, but what you can do is learn a lesson from any mistakes or any mishaps that may have happened. So it's super important that you take some time to figure out what steps you can take the next time you go diving to make sure that these things don't happen again, or so that things can go better. So a great way to do this is to talk with other people on the dive and even make notes in your logbook about what happened and ways to improve so that you can look back on it later. Another thing that you should do on all of your dives is try to improve your skills. So even if you're on a dive where you don't really necessarily get to see a bunch of cool stuff, you could take the opportunity to at least improve your dive skills. That way you still leave taking something away from the dive. Some skills that I recommend practicing are buoyancy control, finning techniques, and maybe even some safety skills with your buddy. So another thing I think leads to always being satisfied and having a successful dive is discovering new marine life. So although you may have specific marine life in mind that you would absolutely love to see, sometimes it's those creatures that kind of go unnoticed that can actually turn out to be the coolest and some of your favorites. So take the time to seek out some marine life that you maybe otherwise wouldn't have. And then even after your dive, I recommend looking up what that marine life is and maybe even learning a little bit about them, because you could find out some very interesting things about creatures that you have always just swam by in the past. Another thing to take away, no matter how the dive goes, is to interact with the other divers around you and maybe meet new dive buddies. Taking the time to talk to fellow divers around you is also a great way to pick up on new information and skills that you maybe wouldn't have otherwise. And also, of course, then you gain new dive buddies. Another thing to remember is that if anything else, you're supporting the dive industry. Taking a course, you rented tanks, rented gear, or are just promoting the sport, you are supporting and contributing to the community of diving overall. Scuba diving is also an incredible way to relieve stress, but not every single dive may necessarily be an absolutely mind-blowing, incredible dive. Even still, it's a great opportunity to just kind of be in the moment and slow down for a little bit and just appreciate the surroundings in this incredible underwater world that we are so lucky to get to be in with this technology that is so unnatural for the human. Something else that I think is important is to always be challenging yourself. So maybe there is a course or a skill or an environment that makes you a little bit nervous, but I really challenge you to go out there and challenge yourself and maybe step outside of your comfort zone a little bit to try new avenues of scuba diving. In addition to challenging yourself, I think you should also try and branch out and try something new. So while warm tropical waters are great for diving, there's also some pretty incredible things that you can see in cold water and even cold fresh water. And just remember that you only have to try something once. If you don't like it, then don't do it again. But I think that you won't regret at least giving something a shot. Another thing that you can take away from the dive is the fact that you just were staying active. You actually burn a decent amount of calories by scuba diving, so it's a great way to get yourself up and moving and out and doing something. There's also plenty of gear to be hauling, so it's a great way to keep yourself going a little bit. And the last thing is just that you're having fun. I mean, is anyone ever in a bad mood when they're out diving? I think rarely. So remember to just keep the mood up and have a good time. All right, that's everything. I hope that you keep these things in mind next time you're having maybe a ho-hum dive. And I will see you guys next time until we dive again. Bye.